Alright, hello my fellow investors, 16 Intelligent Investor here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about step number 2 on how to create wealth and eventually become a millionaire. So before we start the video, guys, use the link in the description down below to sign up with Acorns. Once you sign up with Acorns, you're going to get a chance to win a free stock, and that stock is Coca-Cola, so stay tuned for that. Also, once we hit 6,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another stock giveaway, and that stock will be Apple. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and you'll be notified when that video comes out. So let's start with the video, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm driving here. If you hear noises, all that stuff, I'm sorry. It's the only time I have to film this, so I'm sorry about that. But what's the next step to create wealth? First of all, like I said, it was mentality, right? And why do I say mentality is important? Because all these steps play a huge part, okay? And once you build that mentality, the next step is to manage your money. These kind of coincide with each other. So you have to learn how to manage your money. You have to know where each dollar goes, okay? You have to know how you're spending your money, if you're spending it wrong, all that stuff, okay? And that is a huge part that you guys have to understand. Okay, that is the biggest key, because if you don't make a lot of money, then that even plays a bigger part, okay? Because you need to know how much you're spending on outside food, how much of that money you're spending that you don't need to spend, okay? For me, like I said, I'm worth much more than I thought I was, and I'm worth a 7-figure income now, I mean, I have that. It doesn't mean I'm making that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I still have to trade stocks. I still have to do my business to make money. I have my 7-figure worth. Sorry. And yeah, I mean, I'm still living the way I'm living. You get me? The way I've lived. And I don't spend a lot of money. Okay? That's one thing you have to understand. I manage my money really well. I don't go out and buy outside food all the time. I mean, once every month I spend on outside food, or take my girlfriend out in a, date or something like that. But most of the time, I actually manage my money really well. I still drive my Hyundai. I haven't bought this fancy car or expensive car. I mean, I eventually want to get a Tesla, but that's later on in the future when, I save up enough money to pay cash. And I mean, that's the way you kind of have to live, kind of manage your money, manage it well. Unless you make a 6-figure income, then yeah. I mean, I used to make a 6-figure income, but now I'm making a 5-figure income, because I have my own business. So, I mean, you don't have to, and this is the main thing I want you to understand, you don't have to be making over $100,000 to become a millionaire, guys. I mean, I've known people that make $50,000 a year and have become millionaires. Why? Because they know how to manage their money, okay? And one thing I want to also talk about is debt. Do not get into debt. If you guys don't know how to use a credit card, then don't use it, okay? That is a huge thing as well, because the majority of millennials and people in this generation tend to have huge credit card debt, okay? And that is a big part because you're constantly paying interest to your credit card company. And when you have debt, you're like giving away your money. You're using money that you don't have. So like that, you're constantly spending on stuff you don't need. And that is a huge thing, okay? Also, getting car payments. That's something you don't want to have. You want to buy a car straight out cash, or, if you're already paying monthly payments, try to pay it off as quickly as possible so you won't pay as much interest. And once you're done, do not trade it in. Do not get a new car, guys. I mean, for me, when I got my car, I was like, oh, hey, I was so excited to get my car. And a few months later, I was like regretting it. And most of the people do that. They feel that. And that's a big thing as well. You guys want to minimize what you guys are spending on. If you guys lose your job, if you guys don't have a car payment or any of that stuff, or debt payment, then you're going to be good. You get me? But why is that a big part? Because like that, you'll have a lot of extra money. So let's say you don't have a car payment, you don't have, credit card payment and stuff like that. You can use that money to invest it. And like that, you're going to start building up a portfolio and get more money, okay? And that's how you're going to get to your goals faster. So those are 2 key things, okay, with this step: managing your debt and managing your money. Okay, but debt is a huge part. If you guys are spending money that you guys don't need to, then you're doing wrong there. If you're constantly going out to buy outside food, then that's something that's not good. You get me? Buy your own food, cook it, it's healthier for you. And like that, you're constantly saving money. Okay. And I realized, like, I used to go to like Chipotle and all those places a lot. And Chipotle bowl thing costs like about $10 here. And I mean, I could have made that in 30 minutes and I could have gotten like 6 bowls for the same price, And I'm just saying, you got to find those things. You got to take those sacrifices. For me, I'm still micromanaging every single penny I make, okay? And I invest a lot of it. First of all, the way I manage it is my bills, okay? So you have to count out all your bills, okay? You have to see your rent, your cell phone, all your necessities, right? Insurance. Once you have all that, then you have to see how much extra money you have. And once you see how much extra money you have, you'll have to see, okay, how much have I been spending on things I don't need? You can use that money to invest it, put some money to the side, which you want to have. You want to have at least $1,000 as an emergency fund. And once you have no debt, then I recommend you guys, having about 3 to 6 months of emergency funds. And that's a good thing to do, That's a staple for creating wealth. Now, if you have debt, try to pay that as quickly as possible, okay? When I had debt, the way I kind of got over it is just threw everything in it, okay? I spend no money for myself. I used to love playing video games. I used to buy video games constantly. And the way I did that, when I stopped doing that, sorry, there's a lot of traffic here in this place, so I got to pay a little more attention, but sorry about that. I stopped spending money, so I kind of realized that I used to spend, I used to make like $2,000, and then I only needed $1,000 for bills back then, and then I had to put those extra $1,000 and dumped it into my debt, and like that I paid it off really quickly. And when I did that, I was debt free. And after that, I cut up my credit cards. I don't care about credit, because I can pay everything cash now, okay? And people are saying, hey, I need to buy a house eventually, all this. There's actually places where they don't need credit to buy a house. You can find a loaning place where they just see your income. They see how much you make and stuff like that. They find the fundamentals of what you have. So I know a lot of people are saying, hey, I need credit. I need my score, my perfect credit score, all that stuff. No, you don't. I have good credit, but my girlfriend has crap credit, but she makes good money. So when we're planning on getting a house, well, we're not going to get a house until we're married, but she was looking into it. She was able to qualify, and her credit was close to zero, okay? But the way she did it is because she was making a good income, and she had no debt. So she had no debt, she was making a good income, and she had a good job. So that's what helped her actually get approved for the loan. She didn't get it, but she can do it, okay? And you don't need good credit for that, guys. That's just the thing I want you guys to understand. Credit is not the most important thing. And that's what we've kind of been taught to believe, that credit is everything. And what is credit? Credit is just, what is credit based on? If you actually pay attention, what is credit based on? Credit is based on debt, and debt, okay? That's the thing you have to understand. It's just how much debt you have, how quickly you pay off your debt, and how you manage your debt type thing. So it's like, why does it all rely on debt? Because that's how they make money. Credit is a scam, okay? The way credit is set up, it's a scam. The only way you can get credit is by borrowing money and paying them interest, okay? That's the main way to get credit. I know if you're like good with money and you spend it right, like my brother does. My brother gets Amex cards and stuff like that. He gets a point, he pays it off right before the month's end and stuff like that. So he gets a bunch of points and he makes a lot of money from credit cards. But not everybody could do that. If you see, 95% of the people that have a credit card have a big debt. So that's why I don't recommend you guys getting credit cards. Hopefully the system of the credit card is going to change soon, the way it's measured, and I hope it does. And then it'll be better. But right now it's a broken system, and it's just bad. Okay, so I don't recommend you guys getting a credit card, especially if you're young. Eventually you'll get a house. Once you put a good down payment, and if you do put at least a 20% down payment, then you should be good to get a house. Okay, and that's what you want to do, so you don't have to struggle in life. And that's, like I said, those are huge things. So this is what I want you guys to do. After you get the first step, gain knowledge. You need to gain financial knowledge. Okay, read good books, do all this stuff, educate yourself on that. Once you do that and gain all that knowledge, then manage your money. Okay, learn how to manage your money well and invest in that. Okay, you have to pay yourself too. I know you get paid once you make your check, but you gotta pay yourself. You gotta put money on the side and invest it and have a good future with it. Okay, if you want to start a business, you can do that as well, but start it slowly. I don't recommend doing like drop shipping or any of that stuff that's online, because honestly, you don't have to pay to make money. I mean, I understand these people can give you some knowledge, but you can get that knowledge in the internet for free. I think some of those are scams. Not all of them. Some people do feed you knowledge, but I think that knowledge is overpriced. Okay. So, I mean, that's the big thing there. And I mean, I think this is all I wanted to talk about in this step. Main thing, manage your money, manage your debt. That's one of the big key parts. Once you have no debt, if you have no debt, then you can invest that money, invest 15% of it, save some of it, but investing some of it is really important, because if you have zero debt, no payments in the house, none of that stuff, or if you do have house payments, then make sure you cover that first. Try to pay off your house quicker if you're older. That's a big part, because you want to get the most equity out of your house. And if you want to invest into good stocks, okay? Don't invest into none of these hype stocks or, meme stocks. You want to put your big chunk of money into safe stocks, and then the extra money you can put it into risk stocks, okay? But you want to buy into big companies, big, good, safe companies like AT&T, Apple, Johnson & Johnson, Pepsi, Coke, all these big companies that pay a great dividend. And even though we hit a market crash, your portfolio won't come down as much. Now, for me, my portfolio is actually really well balanced right now, which when the market is kind of coming down right now, my portfolio is still up there. I haven't lost more than 2% of my portfolio. Why? Because a lot of these big stocks like Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, AT&T, they're not dropping as much, okay? And you want to have that security. And like that, I'm still getting paid a dividend, which is then paying me interest for having my money in those shares. And that's a safe way to kind of keep it as well. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, guys. If this video helped out in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Step 3 is going to be key, but I'm telling you guys, learn these steps and do them well, and I'm telling you, you're going to create wealth, and you're actually going to become a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you're broke, if you have a cheap job, or any of that stuff. If you're making minimum wage, it's going to be a little harder, but it's still possible to create wealth. Okay, like I said, wealth is getting to 100,000, and becoming millionaire is becoming a millionaire. Okay, they're two different things, but you could still create wealth with a minimum wage job, with whatever. As long as you don't put yourself in debt, then that's a big key part. So, pay attention to that, guys, because that's really important, okay? And like I said, don't get dismotivated if you don't make a lot of money, because it's still possible, okay? It's very possible, okay? And that is a huge part. Do not get dismotivated if you do not make a lot of money, because it is still possible. I'm telling you guys, okay? But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.